Hi, I'm Professor Roosevelt Mitchell III. A few months ago, I was awarded full custody of both of my children, my son, whom was 4 at the time, and my daughter, who is 2. And one of the first things that I did was to get them assessed developmentally, just to be sure to know exactly where they were or if not, they would need some supports as I looked for a preschool program to enroll both of them into. If you are not familiar with a developmental assessment, here's a flowchart of how the screening actually works. Parent Complete screening tool. The clinical staff scores, reviews the screening tool while you are there. If your child screens negative with no concerns, meaning that your child is developing typically, then the provider discusses results with the parents and there is no immediate action required. If your child screens positive or screens negative with concerns, then immediate action is required. Provider discusses results and concerns with parents. The provider performs more specific medical and developmental assessment or refers for further assessment. If your child is under 3 years old, they will be referred to early intervention services. But if they are 3 years old or older, they will be referred for special education services. Now, the results of my children's assessment was kind of shocking for a parent. Both of my children screened negative with concerns, or one concern. My daughter's concern was she was unable to jump on 2 feet at the same time. So they labeled that as a concern. And as we went over the results for my son's screening, which he screened with concerns, they wanted to refer him for special education testing because he was 4 years old. He was over 3 years old. But after we was discussing the issues or his shortcomings or his deficits, what he displayed was not atypical development. And just to give you a disclaimer, when I go inside of schools and things like that, I never tell them who I am. I never say that I am an award-winning special education teacher, or nor do I say my master's degree is in special education and I have X amount of years of experience and I have written books about special education. I don't say those things because I want to be treated like a normal parent. I want to get the feel of how they treat other parents also. So the lady stated to me that my son refused to answer some of the questions. She stated that he didn't get them wrong, he just refused to answer. So I told her, that's him. He is like that when he is uninterested. I said, maybe he gets it from me. I don't know, but he is uninterested. So it may be a gap in the way that you are reading the questions, or maybe he's just tired. And that's why I believe that a special education referral should not be the first option to parents in that predicament. First, they should tell the parent how they can provide them with resources in order to close that deficit or that gap from the typical development in their child. They should try that first and then use the special services as more of the end of the line. In a case in point, I declined the referral for my son to be tested for special services, and I worked with both of my children every day. My daughter's deficit was diminished in less than a week. She was jumping on both feet. And my son, he was scoring the highest on tests in his class and making the student of the day and etc. in less than 30 days. So he did not need special education services or even the referral. He just needed his parent to look up resources and for us to work together. But that's the fantastic thing about getting your child developmentally assessed. Even if you turn down the referral or decide to take them up on the referral of special services, you still receive paperwork of where your child is and where they tested that day. So you can use that as a guide, as a measuring tool to, okay, he tested or she tested less on this, let's work on this every day. Right, and then you can close that deficit without going directly to special education services, because once a parent just willy-nilly decides to be referred and their child is tested for special services, then you leave room for a misdiagnosis of special education. Then your child gets a label, and from there it's like a web of things that occur. So in conclusion, always be an informed parent. Always do your research beforehand, because people will try to tell you anything that they think that you will believe in order to get your child to test for special education or to get your child inside of special education. And that's what we don't want. We want to try other things first and make that the last resort if needed. And also, get your child developmentally assessed if you have a young baby or a small child, so you know exactly where they are and you can begin working with them right now, so as they get older, they would be caught up with their peers if they are in fact behind. So if you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, my friends, be blessed and be encouraged.